What's up guys, welcome back. Some TCG news, and you know, my channel is not really based on like news and updates, etc. Unless, and I'm making an exception for this, is that it's something huge that affects the whole player base actually, and you know, the following competitive play, like for example YCSs, etc. When Konami implements these new, can I call it, yeah, new rules, right? I'll leave the link in the video description. I just, you know, got a pop-up on Facebook and saw Jeff also posting this on Facebook, and then, you know, I realized that this particular thing is quite huge, quite huge for the competitive play. So again, leave the link in the video description. It's to the Konami webpage, you know, with the like all the rulings, etc. Let's scroll, down a bit. The most important thing here, and that's why I wanted to make the video about this, is that starting off June 1st, if I'm not mistaken, the first YCS mentioned here, there will be an update for the end of match procedure. You know how it is now with, you know, during Swiss, for example, when time is called, you will just, and at least, you know, you will play your turn and end your turn, and after that you will get like 5 extra turns, right? So that's how it is, except during top cut, like top 32 or top 16, instead of 5 extra turns, you will be getting 3 extra turns. Again, correct me if I'm mistaken. Now, what changes this? Let's take a quick look again. So the rulings, etc. of winning, losing, drawing, that's still the same. You can still draw within, you know, a round, etc, etc. But here, rule number 3. So here, let's take a look. So if a win condition occurs during the end of match procedures, that duelist wins the current game. Okay, keeping these 3 rules in mind, please follow these instructions when proceeding to the end of match procedures. So the first one here is continue with the current phase of the game. Once the phase is over, stop the game. And here is where, you know, shiz hits the fan, since, you know, when time is called after 40 minutes, that particular players who turn it is, you know, just has to end his phase, well, continue with his place, but as soon as the phase has ended, the game has to be stopped. So no, you know how it's now, so extra 5 turns or 3 turns if it's a top cut. And again, this is actually huge, definitely has a huge impact on competitive play. Looking a bit further here, yep, the draw is still the same, you know, that's still possible. And here, again, something different is during single elimination. So let's say top cut, if both duelists' life points are the same at the end of the current phase, step 1 above, finish the current turn. If both duelists' life points are the same at the end of the turn, then play will continue on a turn-by-turn basis, with the duelists with the most life points at the end of a turn being declared the winner of that game. So again, so the thing I'm getting from this, and I believe for me personally one of the biggest letdowns of a YCS was, and not really sure if it's the same in the States, for example, but for European YCSs, like the time in between rounds, during rounds, was always equal to like 40 minutes, 45 minutes, sometimes even an hour, you know, of people just going into overtime, and after getting deck checks, etc., they will get the time extension, etc. So now with this time being called, and you know, people just play along, end their phase, and the game will be stopped, I believe that the biggest positive thing from this is the time in between rounds will be shorter, so YCSs or tournaments will end faster. I think that's like a logical conclusion I can get from this. But I believe the biggest downside of this, and not really sure if people agree, is stalling. You know, stalling just well, it's definitely something that's an issue now, but you know, people stall maybe like 1-0 in the lead, and then maybe side in some burn cards for the next duel or the next game. But still, the fact that this is quite huge, and the lack of extra turns after time being called is again such a big difference compared to what we are used to now. So stall decks are, but again, maybe I'm just overthinking the situation here. So Again, feel free to leave opinions, suggestions. I'll leave the link again in the video description. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching and feel free to leave a comment or a like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.